Is anyone's brain getting juicier by the second?
That's a good question.
Question.
I'm searching
Very good
brains.
question. You can sense thought process, and I immediately regret giving you that action. And I have fun watching you communicate this with tentacles to people while you're invisible. The person who is the gnome artist that is talking to Booterbot right now is really his brain electrons are firing at all at all whatever it is
All the
high
firing on
Cylinders.
at
yeah.
all cylinders. Yeah,
Which guys? Who's?
the gentleman who came up and asked for help to begin with.
It's him then.
Wow. Wow. He says,
I'm gonna start blasting.
yeah, Booter, you're the only one he can see. What are you doing? Are you just looking at him?
Well, I'm trying not to make a scene because Sprock is the one who is identifying him,
Yes.
right?
So, Sprock, what do you
So
do with that information?
I feel like our stealthy
I
rogue should
point to him.
hang out.
No one can see you.
I'm gonna telepathically speak to Booter and tell him that it's that one. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to think of what I can do with this.
Do you have a blaster, right?
Oh, I mean, like I could go fight him, yes, but like we're in a crowd, right? We just murdered a dude in the bathroom, and then we're immediately gonna walk over to the next town square and just start blowing a guy up in a busy. In a busy
I'm just saying it's an option.
This is pretty much
I'm
our
saying
MO.
that's yeah.
just trying to think of if there's Oh, how about this? I'll cast detect magic on.
Ah, on the statue?
Let's detect magic on self. I guess that wouldn't really matter unless it. Do we think it's important that we figure out what it is, or should we just try to interrupt it?
It's on you.
How about this? I'll do third level spell. I will cast dispel magic on the squirrel.
Nice.
Okay. So you just dispel it, right? I don't think you have to roll for that.
Yeah. So for a spell or third level or lower, just end. If it's fourth level or higher, then they do an ability check.
Okay. The spell, the squirrel is like, where is my nuts? Have you seen my big nuts? And every squirrel eventually finds its nut. Goulet, and it stops moving. And then all of a sudden you see the gnome sort of look around a little bit, and he's trying to figure out what to. And he says, "I don't know what happened there. Seems that the squirrel has stopped singing on its own."
I walk over to the gnome and I say that you and I both know that it did not stop singing on its own. Now tell me, what were you doing?
Yeah, that requires a. Are you trying to intimidate him?
Not very good at that. I think we'll just say. I mean, I could do intimidation, or I guess because that's what it sounded like. Let's do that.
We both know. Yeah. Go ahead.
14.
You hear some. He says that's a fail, and he says, I don't know what you mean, but it seems to me that I'm the one who stopped this squirrel from singing. It seems that it didn't, or no, it seems that the squirrel itself just stopped. So I don't owe you guys anything. You hear some whistling. Do that! Everyone step away. As you turn around, Booter, and I guess the invisible people can also see the town guard has come. The town guard are pretty quick to respond to disturbances in the community. And they say, "What is the meaning of this? What is happening here? You two, don't move." And they go over to Booterbot and the gnome. Let's say,
We'll back away.
Booter,
Visible-
give me,
You should.
Booter, give me a
Where's-
perception check.
I get locked up here. We don't want to make it any worse than
Booter, give me a perception check. You
uh,
9,
14.
14. You look around the square or the little statue area, the monument area, and you see that there are no more people. There are artists are packing up and leaving. That's what you see. And I guess the cops, if you will, the gray dwarves in gray shields come over and say, Lo, you know the rules. If you do not tell us what's happening here in a honest fashion, we'll have to bring you in for further questioning. We don't like to have mischief in our streets, especially in front of the kids. You now, what happened here? And he asks, and he sort of takes the gnome off to the side, and then he says, and you go with them. You're going to tell us what happened here, and if the stories don't match up, we'll know we have some mischief.
Yes, so sure, when I get pulled away, I just tell him the truth. I say, the squirrel was talking about missing his nuts. It was scaring the children, so I dispelled the magic on it, which provoked my friend the gnome over there. I don't really know what he was up to. Maybe you could figure that out, being as you're the police.
Invisible people want to nothing.
I would have backed
Not for
away.
me.
Wait, I'm
Okay.
sorry, say that.
I like being invisible.
I
Yeah.
also like being invisible.
No reason not to be, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the dwarves finish and they come over and they bring the other gnome over here. And they say, what say you? I need a random name for a dwarf. Should have given that to the invisible people. I'm learning how to do cities and I will be giving-
Albert Stonecutter.
Albert Stone. Albert Stone, and his last name's Cutter. Albert Stone, what did your bot say happened here? And Albert Stone says, Booter, roll me a, I want to know how believable your story is.
13.
13, okay. The gnome, he says, our boy says that this gnome cast a spell and for some reason, we don't know, and had this statue come alive. What did your gnome say? And the gnome said with, a 9. The gnome said that this here bot brought the statue alive and for his to get rid of the local talent. The bot wanted to use the square for his own goods. But unfortunately for you, we see the truth in everything, and you are arrested. And they clank the gnome. They all tackle the gnome on the ground, and they say, "We won't have you bothering." And what is the squirrel's name? That's a good question. The squirrel's name will be divulged shortly. You will not have Nutros, the statue of Nutros, bothered so easily. And they clank him up and they drag him down the street. And they say, you will have to answer for your crimes. To you, Mr. Warforged, I'm not 100% sure if you people feel feelings or have a soul, but we apologize for your inconvenience. And for your inconvenience, I'm sure Natroshos will treat you kindly. They drag this guy down the street. Booter, give me a perception check. You see two nuts fall out of you see two gray stones fall out of the statue's hands. Under the ground, they are in the shape of walnuts. There's your Richard Balls for you. You got yourself two nuts. Alright, moving on. So, what would you guys like to do? You have this statue of a squirrel. The artists seem to come back, and things slowly but surely come back to where it came from. There are mimes coming around. The children come and follow the mimes. It seems to me that mimes, I think, are going to play a part in Trigar. Mimes are a quiet way of fun for the kids. Natrushos, I have to figure out what Natrushos is. But you are done with these two streets. It feels like you guys have been walking for a while. You guys do come across, when you guys get to it, there seems to be a large market. And beyond the market, in the area, there seems to be. Oh, you guys are so far away from that. You guys actually arrive at the market. Well, what's the purple thing I told you?
Great.
That's an encounter. Okay. So first thing I want you to do, Booter. I think we're going to end here. I am out of my magic, but Booter, you're going to roll the first encounter from my homebrewed encounter table for what is going to happen next. Find
Right.
that list. It's a D8. Hold on, just let me show you. This is why I think invisibility is a little bit. It's hard to run. It's easy not to do anything with invisibility. But that's what you guys chose. That's how you want to play it. No problem.
We just need a hat of disguise for Sprock.
Yes, you guys will
And,
find that.
and,
You guys will-
and Zergo.
and Zergo.
Zergo just swaddle.
It's true. But he's got a lot of tentacles.
Just keep a little covering over. Like you're like any other baby.
Yeah, that's true.
No one needs to look in there.
Booter, roll me a D8.
D8. We have an 8.
Oh God! Isn't that low? Isn't da 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 da? You guys hear music? Da 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 da. Everyone gather round! Da 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 da. The king is coming! The king is coming! Da 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 da. In walks the Lololo.